This is a intro to a step-by-step guide on how to build your own kitchen cabinets. When building kitchen cabinets, there is a problem. Building them can be expensive, time-consuming, and complex. The solution to this problem can be DIY. Yes, you can do this. It is easier than ever. As a bonus, is it fun? You save a lot of money because trades can be very expensive. You learn new skills, you exercise with purpose, you increase the value of your home. You get exactly what you want, and you have the satisfaction of building it with your own hands. Now, right from the beginning, I have to mention that this is not meant for professionals, but simple people with limited resources. So experience is not needed, a workshop is not needed, expensive machines or tools are not required. Everybody can do this in their own kitchen, in their living room, porch, or backyard. And a small space in your home and basic tools are sufficient. In order to achieve this, we have two assumptions here. One of is the build style. So the build style has to be easy, simple, and accessible for everyone. And for this purpose, I prepared a downloadable guide. The second assumption is supplies. So everything that you see here and is required for this cabinet is available at your own big DIY retailer, like Home Depot or Lowe's in US, or Leroy Merlin or OB in Europe, or Kingfisher in the UK. Important thing here to mention is that these big retailers, they offer panel cutting services as well as MDF doors with pre-drills, hinge and handle holes if you want MDF doors instead of simple panels like shown in this case. So this cabinet, as you can see, it's a drawer cabinet. It has 3 drawers. They can be equal or they can be different in size. The size of the cabinet body itself is 30 inches wide by 24 inches deep by 30 inches high, plus 1 inch and a half for the legs, which is a pretty common dimension in the US. For other cabinet styles, for instance the 4-drawer cabinet style, please visit my channel for the specific video. I'm gonna upload them as I create them. Also for various dimensions or different other cabinet styles, everything is available there. Again, everything that I'm gonna say here is very truly documented and very detailed with all the dimensions you need and all the notes that you need in the downloadable guide available in the descriptions. There is a link there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And let's begin. Okay, so every cabinet in the kitchen can be seen as an assembly made from accessories like handles, slides in this case, or hinges for the doors, and legs, and any other accessory that provides a function or connects together all the panels. And the second part would be the box itself, that is supposed to be non-disassembled, supposed to stay together. In this case, we have like a big box for the cabinet itself, and also we have 3 drawers which can be assimilated to 3 smaller boxes that will go inside the big box. You would need to assemble the big box and the drawers separately. Pretty much the same technique applies for all of them. Okay, and this would be an exploded view of the assembly, as I said. So as you can see, you have slides. Here you have 3 pairs of slides because we have 3 drawers, 3 handles, and 4 legs. And all these accessories pretty much will assemble together in a drawer cabinet. The box itself also can be exploded for you to see better. It's made out of a lot of panels that they are assembled together. As I said, these panels can be cut to size by those DIY retailers. After you get all these panels, so the dimensions for this are provided in the document that I have a link for it in the description of this video. You have exact size that you need for each and every single panel. And those can be bought from these retailers. And before assembling the whole thing, the important thing here to remember is that you will have these edges exposed by the cut. So you have a melamine here on the surface, but the edges will be exposed, showing the internal structure of this engineered wood. For that, before assembling the whole thing, you will need to apply the edge band on all the visible edges, which will be in the case of the drawer front or of the door would be all the four sides, right? Top side, bottom, and the other side, and this is true for all of them, like 3 drawers. Also, you would want to apply this edge band on this edge here, because that's going to be seen on this edge of this component there, on this edge here, as well as this edge. Also, the drawer itself is going to show these edges exposed, so you want to apply that edge band on this as well. All right, so this was the cabinet itself. I'm going to collapse it. And we're going to switch to the assembly for the first step, which is here. Okay, so for the first step, I'm going to hide all the rest and show only what's relevant. The first step would be to install this slides on a side. So you would lay the side of the cabinet down on the exterior, and on the interior you will fasten these slides. Now the slides, it's important to mention that they come in pairs. So every drawer has a pair, the left side and the right side. Every side of the pair has a cabinet part, which you can see here, and the drawer part, which you will see later, right? So you will take the left sides for every drawer, which is 3 in this case, the cabinet part, which is shown here, and you will fasten to the inside of the cabinet on the left side as shown. Now the critical dimension, the critical thing here is the position of these slides relative to the bottom. This will make sure that your drawers actually work and they fit in exactly. For that, you have a critical dimension measured from the bottom of the cabinet here to the center of the holes for each slide. Again, that critical dimension, you have it in the downloadable document. At this stage, you can just mark the position of the slides, or you can also install or fasten the slides with screws. If you decide to just mark this, no problem. Later on we have a step showing how to fasten this. If not, you can fasten them using at least 3 wood screws into these holes. The screws are about 5/8 or 16 millimeters. Alright, so this was the slide position markup. And for the next step, we're going to switch again to the body itself, and we switch to the second step actually, which is this. Now in this second step, you would fasten the bottom of the cabinet to the left side. It's important to install it as shown here, so the bottom goes inside the door, not here applied, but here as shown. You would keep the side like this. On the back, you would bring the bottom like this. Make sure you have 90 degrees between them, and make sure the surfaces are flush here, but also here and here. Now, in order to fasten these two panels together, you will need to pre-drill a hole. To pre-drill all the holes, actually, as shown here, 2 holes at the extremities and 1 hole in the middle. In order to drill these holes, you have a special cutting bit that cuts from one step both things, like the hole itself and the chamfer for the screw. After drilling the holes, you would use the special screws for assembling the melamine panels and assemble these two panels together. Next step. For the next step, you will do pretty much the same thing for the top, but instead of a big panel, you will have 2 rails. So again, same thing, make sure that you have 90 degrees here, make sure it's flush here on top, as well as flush here. And you will pre-drill these 2 holes and drive those 2 special melamine screws. Okay. For the next steps, 4 and 5, same thing. The cabinet stays on the back, and you will bring this panel. You will repeat basically all the steps for left on the right. So you will drill the holes for the top and bottom rails here, put the screws in. Then you will drive the screws for the bottom as well. Same thing as the other side. Same steps, pre-drilling the holes and driving the screws. So for the step number 6, pretty much the same thing, but we have here a back rail. This is to fasten the whole cabinet to the wall, but also to offer stiffness to the whole cabinet. This rail here has to be installed all the way up against the top rail and flush with the back. Okay. And the next step, it's similar to the other one, but for the bottom rail. Same thing, make it flush, pre-drill 2 holes, drive 2 screws. Step number 8, it's slightly different. For this, you will turn the cabinet face down like this, that being the face, this being the back, this is the top, that's the bottom, and you will bring the panel for the back. Okay, now the panel for the back is usually slightly smaller than the cabinet itself. Exactly the dimension required, again, you have in the downloadable guide. Also, it is made from a thinner panel, as it's not required to be thick. This is to save money and for ease of installation. So you will put the cabinet face down, you will bring the back and fasten the back using nails this time, not screws. So you will use 1 nail every 2-3 inches or every 50 to 75 millimeters all around on 4 sides. Okay, you gotta be careful here to drive the holes exactly in the middle of the panel here, so you don't pierce it inside or outside. So careful with that. All right, now for the next step, we have to switch back to the assembly itself. So the next step would be fastening the legs. So for that, we have the assembly here and we show only the legs. So for installing the legs, you would turn the whole box that we have now assembled upside down, just like this. You will bring the 4 legs. These are plastic adjustable legs, special legs with a tab here, and you would distribute them as shown. Okay. So important thing to remember here is to have this tab overlapping the sides for all of the legs, and fastening is done using 4 screws as shown here, 1, 2, 3, 4 for each leg. Another important thing to remember here is the position of the front legs, this being the front of the cabinet, relative to the front of the cabinet. And why? Because here in the end you will end up having a toe kick, as this is, which is a long piece of of melamine that is going to cover the underneath of the cabinets. They will have a clip similar to this one that is fastened to the inside face, and the whole thing will clip into the leg clip here and will hide the underneath of the cabinets, sort of like this. Now for the next step, just in case you didn't do this right at the first step we talked about already, now would be the good time to fasten the slides here. So as you saw, we marked the center of the holes with a line for each slide here. So now would be the time to fasten these slides to the inside of the cabinet. So the cabinet part, the left side and the right side, they are pairs, right? They have to be fastened exactly on that line for the drawers to work properly. Use for these 5/8 or 16mm screws, wood screws, use at least, you have plenty of holes here, but use at least 3 screws. Alright, and this wraps up pretty much the cabinet itself. Now would be the time to fasten the drawers. For this we're going to switch back to the drawers itself, and this is isolated here somewhere. Should be this one. Yes. So for the next step is a drawer installation or assembly part. Drawers, they have 4 components like this: front, back, left, right side and left side. Bring them into position just as shown here. Place the front and the back in between the sides as shown here. Make sure they are flush everywhere, like faces top and bottom. Okay, make sure you have 90 degrees. Okay, and pre-drill with the same bit as for the cabinet the holes here, and use the same screws as for the cabinet here as well. Repeat for each corner of the drawer box and repeat for each drawer. Don't forget we have 3 drawers here. Exact position of the hole here again is given in the document, which is downloadable. Alright, now for the next step you would have to fasten the bottom of this drawer box. For this you will turn the box upside down just like this. You will bring the drawer back. You will place it on top. Make sure everything is 90 degrees. Make sure everything is flush everywhere. Pre-drill at least 2 holes per corner. Okay, if the drawer is bigger, you can pre-drill a hole also in the middle. Is the same bits as for assembling the cabinets, and use the same screws to assemble this as for the cabinet itself. Okay, the next step would be to fasten the face of the drawer. So bring in the face, put it face down on a table, bring the box you already assembled, and position the box on the back of the face of the drawer as shown. This is the back of the drawer face, right? So now, important thing here to remember is that we have to be perfectly centered, left and right. Exact dimension provided in the document. Also, very, very important, the dimension from the bottom of the drawer to the bottom of the front is critical in order to have a functional drawer. Again, all this is provided in the downloadable document. Okay. So the way to assemble this is very, very easy. After you position this very precisely, the box on top of the drawer face, you will drive 4 screws. Position is not important. Important is to be equally distributed, like 2 sort of like this on the left side and 2 on the right side. Minimum 4 screws I would use. Maybe if you need like 2 or 1 more in the center here. Okay. The screws to assemble this is exactly specified in the document. It's a 32mm screw or 1 inch and a quarter. It is long enough to go through this panel here to this panel here into this panel here without piercing the front face. Very careful with that, so you don't pierce the front face, but also you have enough screw so you catch into this face and the face is securely fastened to the drawer box itself. Of course, repeat this operation for all the drawers. For the next step, we're gonna switch back to the cabinet itself with the assembled, and we're gonna try to isolate the first drawer. So now we have the drawer box assembled, and now it's time to fasten the hardware. The hardware in this case would be the other half of the slides, left and right, the drawer half. For this, you turn the drawer box as shown upside down. You will place the drawer half of the slide on the drawer box on the bottom like shown here. This is the drawer bottom, right? Because the drawer is upside down in this case. You will place it on the edge, make sure it's tight against this and against that, and sits exactly on the edge, and you would fasten this using 3 screws, 5/8 or 16mm, exact specification document again, to fasten this. Repeat for the other side and repeat for all the drawers. Important thing to remember here, the wheel of the slide has to end up at the back of the drawer as shown here. Okay. Now the next step would be to fasten the handle. The handle comes from the handle vendor with special metric screws. You will need to drill the holes for those screws, usually a 4mm hole here. Position, usually the handle goes in the middle, left and right, and away from the top 2, 3, 4 inches depending on the drawer size. Okay, pre-drill the holes and fasten with the metric screws from the inside of the drawer. Okay, and the next step would be this one, would be removing. If you put the drawers inside, it's the time to remove them out. And you have the drawers box, just the drawer cabinet just like this, and this would be pretty much a step of installing the cabinet in position. So bring the cabinet in position, the final position in the kitchen. Make sure it's horizontal. How do you do this? You adjust from the legs. These legs are adjustables, remember. So make sure you have the height you want and make sure it's leveled. Okay, for this, adjust the legs. Adjust the legs because these legs are adjustable. All right. And the last step would be to bring the whole cabinet in position. And I'm going to show it, the cabinet open. So the last step would be to insert the drawers. If you didn't do this already, bring every drawer, make sure they are the drawers specified for the specific position, so top, middle and bottom. Sometimes that's important, not all the times. Before doing that, actually, you would fasten, if this goes inside the kitchen, you would fasten the cabinet body itself to the countertop using some screws from the bottom up. You would use pretty much the same screws that you use to fasten the front of the drawer to the drawer box. So fasten the countertop, Cover all the visible screw heads if they bother you. They don't bother me. They don't bother most of the people, but if they bother you, cover them. You have a special component for this if you need. Insert the drawers, and of course, the very last step would be to bring the toe kick and clip it in, the one that we talked about this already, clip it into position using these clips on the legs. And that is pretty much it for this particular. Okay, so yeah, please, if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. You can request for different type of cabinets. There are so many different types. There is a downloadable document as a reminder. If you need all the details and you want to build actually this for yourself and you need all the information in great detail, you have it in the link in the description. The document, as I said, is downloadable and it gives you everything that you need to build this by yourself. All the tools that you need with exact screenshots from Home Depot, all the hardware and screws you need, all the materials needed. Again, everything with screenshots from Home Depot. All the dimensions that you need for the screws, for the panels, everything is provided, including a cut list so you know exactly what size each panel has to be. The document also offers you a step-by-step guide with notes and 3D drawings on how to build this cabinet, as I described in this video, everything with great detail. Okay, so link in description for that. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more videos. Yeah, visit my store for the document on how to build this. Thank you.